Hey everybody, it's Gary Lucas. It's Thursday. Sorry for the false start there on the timeline, but I wanted to get a shot of Lulu, who was occupying my little performing area here by the window, looking out over. Oh, those workmen are busy as bees out there, and it's really cold. The temperature dropped radically, and winter is here again. And we're still only in April. But anyway, I'm going to play for you for the next half an hour. And, okay, well, let's see. Whirligig. Whirligig is an instrumental that occurred on the last Gods and Monsters studio album, The Ordeal of Civility, which, I know in the run-up to it, there were features about the album and me in the New York Times and also the Wall Street Journal in the space of about 2 weeks. You can check out the Times. I know it's still online in their archive. I think the headline was fairly prosaic. Gary Lucas has a new album out, something like that. But it was a good one, and it had pictures from various phases of my career at that point, including a tribute to Jeff Buckley that I mounted at the Knitting Factory. The old Knitting Factory had moved to Williamsburg in the space of the former Luna Lounge. And there were artists who came in from all over the world on their own dime for this tribute, I invited three who I was working with extensively. Alessio Franchini from Livorno in Tuscany was there. He flew in. And also Diane, I'm sorry, I'm blanking on her last name, but I'll think of it. My friend Diana from Portugal, from Lisbon, came over for this. And lastly, Heide Milanez, who is quite a big star in Cuba, along with her sister Sulaine. And she's the biggest Jeff Buckley fan of Cuba. So she came in and sang a version of Grace that had been translated into Spanish by another friend of mine for hers, a guy named Sebastian Doggart. And it was a beautiful night. They turned people away. There were more people who showed up for this tribute than they had capacity for in the club. And a lot of money was raised for charity that night. And it was a beautiful thing, indeed. But anyway, there was a picture from, in that article about Ordeal of Civility, of Heidi and I backstage in a dressing room at the Knitting Factory. I think I'll have to post it. I just dug it up. But the song I just did, not to digress too much, Whirligig was an instrumental that I wrote. And I recall exactly where I wrote it. I was home visiting my folks over the High Holy Days, which is the week, I think it's a week between two religious holidays in the Jewish faith, Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur. And I was in for the duration. And I was doing a lot of work at home. I don't know, sometimes getting out of the apartment into another space is really good motivator to write new stuff, I've found. And I've written some of the best work of mine on the road in hotel rooms mainly. Anyway, we recorded this album at Loho Studios, where my friend and longtime bandmate Jason Candler had his own room there, but we went into the main room, and we had Jerry Harrison producing from Talking Heads, an old friend of the band's, and he had played with Ernie Brooks, my longtime bass player in the Modern Lovers, before joining Talking Heads. And anyway, this was an instrumental that featured Jason on sax, doing some beautiful lead lines along with my guitar, Billy Ficca on drums, Joe Hendel on keyboards. Who else was on that? Ernie, I said. And anyway, check it out, because of all the tracks on that record, it seemed to get the most airplay at that time. I gotta shut this because it's getting windy in here, but it's nice to get some air. Anyway, Whirligig. And anyway, I have an update on Jason's condition. I had some really good news from his wife, Lily, today, that he woke up with a clear head. I mean, just to recap, he had a series of very unfortunate, severe strokes a couple of weeks ago, and has been in the ICU at a hospital here in New York. Since then, I visited him, and it was just, he's a very strong guy, and he was talking a bit, but it's going to be a long recovery period. So anyway, to help Jason and Lily and their 18-month-old son, Jacob, with medical and living expenses, I set up a GoFundMe fundraiser site, and I've been posting about it. Please, if you are so inclined, you might want to pitch in a little support, just because they're facing a very, very severe situation economically, I'd say, for the next few months at the least, with the price of medical expenses, which oftentimes are not covered by fundamental medical insurance, or let's say they're just covered up to a point or number of days in a hospital or rehab center. And also it's unclear how long Jason will be out of commission to be able to work, and he has these two dependents. But the good news is my goal, which was just to figure that I thought seemed a reasonable amount to shoot for of 50K. More than half of that has come in so far. At last count, it was almost at 27,000, and people have been so generous and kind. So anyway, the good news about Jason is every day is getting better and better and stronger, and he really, really appreciates the support, I can tell you, because that's what friends are for, right? I mean, it's good to rally around a friend, but also in a general sense. Musicians and artists in general are really at risk during this pandemic, outside of the 1% of them. And yeah, who knows what's in store for all of us musicians. I mean, in the future, we're all playing in these ad hoc, live streaming things as best we can to just keep focused and going and making music. And I really do miss the live thing and hope it comes back soon, not just for the economic benefits, which are certainly appreciated, but because I love the one-on-one interchange of energy, just to be up on a stage or at eye level, whatever, like any situation that works where you have an audience is good, because you can raise the energy level, and that's what I'm all about. So thank you for tuning in, and Hey. Oh, well, all right. So, a few topics to relate. I've got an album, I just got a quantity in from the Czech Republic on Faust Records. Faust is a label and a guy. The guy is Richard Matter, who's one of the most active people on the progressive music scene for years and years and years. He had a band called Faust that was contemporaneous with the Plastic People, who are good friends. And he put out this record of mine. Gary Lucas plays Bohemian Classics. And, let's see. Well, I think we're in the Mirror World. But it's a black and white. It's just like a Velvet Underground album cover. And what it is a concert I did for the 15th anniversary of the Velvet Revolution back in 2003, I think it was, at Washington, D.C., and it was arrangements of Czech classical music. Dvorak, Smetana, who else did I cover on this thing? Janacek, my favorite of them all. And the Plastic People are also represented with a little number I did with Jason Candler, in fact, on saxophone. Most of it was recorded, in fact, the bulk of it was recorded live in D.C., and then I did a track with Jason in his studio. And it's a real good one. It didn't get much promotional support, let us say, or a push. And I think this final album is really pretty much only available, if at all, in the Czech Republic. But I've got a bunch. And if you're a vinyl freak, it sounds really good. And I recommend it. There is a track from it, which is Largo from Dvorak's Ninth Symphony. The second movement, known as Largo, it was recorded as a jazz standard, actually became a jazz standard over the years under the title Going Home. There's a beautiful version you can listen to online. And anyway, it's all there on that 40-year anniversary album, which I don't have in front of me, but you know, the drill. So that's one thing. And then the other thing about that is, the good news is the very first pressing is sold out of that album. I just got news from the Knitting Factory label. There are no more copies in the physical CD sense, but they're going to repress it because of the demand for it. So that was wonderful news. So look for the return of the repressed about, I'd say, a month to 6 weeks from now. You may still be able to find some physical copies on Amazon, but yeah, this is good because I knew that it's definitely pressed a lot of buttons with people out there who got it and have listened to it. And I mean, what's not to like? It's a veritable cornucopia of Gary Lucasism. Oh, this sounds like Caroline is here. Oh, great, right on time at the end of the show. All masked and anonymous, except I know she is. Here, let me help you. Okay. Thanks, Caroline. All right, so I got a little coffee here. And Lulu is jumping for joy. Let me tell you, if either of us leave her alone or go out of the apartment for even 10 seconds, when we come in, she greets us like our long-lost friends, her long-lost, friend, and really shows a great appreciation. She's just come out of her nap. But anyway, I think we're at the end. So I love that you would tune in today and share the good news about Jason Candler. And please do think of him. If you like his music, if you know him as a person, he's a wonderful guy. The people who've contributed, I can't thank you enough, and I will as soon as I get a chance to get on the site, because he's not going to be able to do it himself for a while. But yeah, that's about it. So keep those lamps trimmed and burning. Let's take a look. All right, whenever it is now a little sunny, and the workmen are taking a break. I think they're knocking off for the day, as am I, at least in the playing mode right now. Recording is another It's another issue. No, I've been very busy with multiple projects spinning and recording, and it's all good, but, I don't want to talk about them too much until they're fully realized. So I'll see you on Saturday at 3 o'clock, okay? I still haven't put this behind a paywall, but now I'm putting in a plug for the tip jar. If you pass on by, you won't get high, as the locker room salesman once used to bark at the entrance to Central Park. Locker room, check it out. If you pass on by, you won't get high. This first thing I heard moving to New York in 1977 and starting work up at BlackRock. Okay, love you guys. See you on Saturday. Bye now.